Section 1. Microeconomics versus macroeconomics, the two sides of economics. Economics helps us understand choices made by people, businesses, and governments. It has two main parts, microeconomics and macroeconomics. Microeconomics looks at individual units like households and companies. It studies decisions on buying, selling, and pricing. Macroeconomics looks at the whole economy, like Kenya's entire economy. It studies national output, employment levels, and price trends. Micro and macro are connected. Small choices affect big trends and vice versa. Understanding both helps make better decisions for businesses, government, and citizens. This knowledge is powerful for improving lives. Section 2. Core Goals of Macroeconomic Policy in Kenya. Macroeconomics guides government policy for a healthy economy. In Kenya, 3 goals are key: economic growth, full employment, and price stability. Economic growth means producing more goods and services, creating wealth and opportunities. Full employment aims for low unemployment, giving people income and dignity. Price stability means steady prices, avoiding high inflation that erodes savings and complicates planning. Balancing these goals is tricky. Actions for one goal might affect another. Policymakers must find the right balance for Kenya's situation, requiring careful thought and understanding of economics. Section 3. Key economic indicators, gauges of a nation's health. Economic indicators measure economic performance. Key indicators include GDP, GNP, CPI, and unemployment rates. GDP measures total production within Kenya. GNP includes income earned by Kenyans abroad and subtracts income earned by foreigners in Kenya. CPI tracks average price changes of everyday goods and services, measuring inflation. Unemployment rates show the percentage of people in the labor force without a job but actively looking. These indicators help us understand Kenya's economy and inform decisions for a better future. Section 4. National Income Accounting, measuring Kenya's economic activity. National income accounting measures a country's economic activity. Key measures include GDP, GNP, NNP, and national income, NI. NNP is GNP minus depreciation, showing a more net measure. NI is NNP less indirect business taxes plus net foreign factor income. There are 3 main ways to measure national income: output approach, income approach, and expenditure approach. The output approach adds up the value of all goods and services produced. The income approach adds up all incomes earned by factors of production. The expenditure approach adds up all spending on final goods and services. All 3 methods should give similar results, providing different views of the same activity. Section 5. Interpreting economic data, real versus nominal and limitations. GDP figures can be nominal or real. Nominal GDP uses current prices, which can be misleading if prices rise. Real GDP uses constant prices, removing inflation effects, showing true production changes. Economists prefer real GDP for comparing economic performance over time. National income data has limitations. It often undercounts the informal sector and unpaid work. It doesn't show quality changes, income distribution, or environmental costs. Understanding these limits is crucial for using these numbers wisely. Section 6. The Keynesian Model and Economic Drivers. John Maynard. Keynes's ideas help us understand economic ups and downs. The Keynesian model focuses on aggregate demand, total spending in the economy. The circular flow of income shows money flowing between businesses and households. Withdrawals like savings and taxes and injections like investment and government spending affect this flow. Aggregate demand, AD, includes consumption, investment, government spending, and net exports. Aggregate supply, AS, is total output firms are willing to produce. Keynes also looked at what drives spending, like income and interest rates. The multiplier effect shows how an initial change in spending leads to a larger change in national income. Section 7. Money, banking, and credit creation in Kenya. Money is more than notes and coins. It is a medium of exchange, a unit of account, and a store of value. Different types of money include commodity money and fiat money. Money supply measures include M0, M1, M2, and M3. Commercial banks accept deposits and make loans, creating credit. The Central Bank of Kenya, CBK, issues currency, manages foreign reserves, and supervises banks. CBK conducts monetary policy, managing money supply and interest rates to achieve macroeconomic goals. Section 8. Tackling inflation and unemployment. Kenya's challenges. Inflation is a persistent rise in prices, reducing money's purchasing power. Types of inflation include demand pull and cost push. CPI measures inflation by tracking price changes of a basket of goods and services. High inflation hurts people on fixed incomes and creates business uncertainty. The Central Bank of Kenya aims to keep inflation low and stable. Unemployment means people who want to work cannot find jobs. Types of unemployment include frictional, structural, and cyclical. Kenya faces significant youth unemployment, making job creation a priority. The Phillips curve suggested a trade-off between inflation and unemployment. But this relationship is not always stable. Policies must aim to reduce unemployment while keeping inflation under control. Section 9. Economic governance, policy levers, and global engagement for Kenya. Governments use fiscal policy involving spending and taxation to influence the economy. Fiscal tools like tax cuts and subsidies can boost demand and lower costs. Increased government spending can stimulate economic activity. Monetary policy, managed by the Central Bank of Kenya, aims for price stability and economic growth. Tools include setting interest rates, open market operations, and reserve requirements. International trade is vital for Kenya, boosting growth and providing consumer choice. The balance of payments records all economic transactions between Kenya and the world. Managing international relations well is key for Kenya's prosperity